Hi inventors! I'm Lily, the twirling tech goddess. I'm black, I dance, I'm queer, and I'm an engineer. Welcome to the TWIRCH Shop, a show that explicitly encourages radical diversity and inclusion by making the process of learning tech more fun, accessible, and relatable to people underrepresented in STEM. Each week you'll come along with me as I create something fabulous using cutting-edge tools and technologies. Then I'll put it through my patented twirl test to make sure that it's stage ready. That's right, we twirl with our tech, because you know what they say, the family that slays together increases their socioeconomic status together. On this episode, we're coming to you live from Building 61, Boulder Library Makerspace. And today, we're going to be gearing up to protect ourselves by making our very own body armor. And we're going to do this by using a pretty common household power tool, the Dremel. To start, we are definitely going to need to go over the history of armor and some of the technology that goes into protective gear. After that, I'll introduce you to the Dremel and its many parts and uses. Then, we'll get to strategizing about how in the hell we're gonna build our own body armor with just this little thing. But first, a little backstory. I currently live in Colorado, but just before moving here, I'd gone to Chicago to audition for the Universal Circus. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Universal Circus, but they are the only Black-owned and operated big top circus in the world, or at least I think they're the only ones. So this specific year, they wanted to add figure skating to their circus in the winter, so myself and a few friends of mine auditioned. I'm not really gonna give them that much promotional time because they didn't end up hiring me, but while I was there, I stayed with my homegirl Magnolia Lipscomb. Hey, great! Now, if you don't know who Magnolia is, she is a beautiful Black figure skater. She was actually the first female figure skater to land a quadruple Salchow in practice. True story. Shout out to Magnolia. She's one of the most loyal people I've ever met in my life. So I'm staying with her and we're rehearsing for this audition video. And if you know anything about skaters' feet or ballet dancers' feet, you know it's kind of rough down there. So one night Magnolia was about to give herself a pedicure and she pulls out this big old handheld device with a rotary sanding component attached to it. And I was like, girl, what you finna do with that? And she was like, let me put you up on game. I use this to buff the calluses off my feet. And it also helps to remove nail polish, dead skin, etc. So I used it and I was blown away at how quickly and easily I got my feet to feeling soft and beautiful. It was a couple of years though, before I would go looking for this device for my own personal use. But when I finally did look, the closest thing I found was this Dremel, AKA the Rotary Tool. It also had some bits in it that are commonly used in salons that I frequent. So I thought, yay, this Dremel will be a perfect tool to add to my purse. Spoiler alert, a regular Dremel is quite a bit more powerful of a tool than the handheld rotary nail sander that Magnolia and many nail salons use. I would later find that out the hard way. Cut to this last spring, and my good friend Frida asked me to create a front-facing sign for her nonprofit's new building. Shout out to Queer Asterisk, providing therapeutic resources to queer and trans youth. We stan. For the sign, she and I were visualizing metal and wood juxtaposed. So I went to the Corel Robotics Lab on campus here at CU Boulder to prototype a few things, having no intuitive idea how I was gonna cut this metal. So I Googled it, and sure enough, one of the drill bits that comes with the kit is this flat metal circular moment, and it totally cuts through metal. Imagine my face when I realized that this thing had that level of power, and I had just been using it on my nails and my feet. I guess that goes to show how fucked up my feet were. /R. So, why armor? Honestly, I thought of metal and sparks flying and steampunk and Mad Max.
Those are joking. No mercy.
And I was like, yes, Mad Max. That's basically it. I mean, the episode might be about armor, but this show is still for the gays. For the gays? Yes, for gays. Comment below if you're gay. Now for a brief history of armor. Warning, I'm about to talk about topics that may be triggering for some. So where did armor come from, you ask? Fighting, plain and simple. Pretty sure someone pissed someone else off and that other somebody threw something at the other person and that person picked up something like boom And then they were like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna make a whole outfit out of this, and then you'll never be able to come for me ever again. Well, at least until the thing you're trying to hit me with scales up in size or becomes more sophisticated, or my personal needs change, or I gain weight, or I make advancements in my tactics, or the terrain I'm living in changes, whatever. Starting with animal skins and bones, graduating to metals in the Middle Ages, to steel, ceramic, Kevlar, and now a lightweight polyethylene armor, which is basically plastic. If you think about some of those things I just mentioned, most of these materials are relatively heavy. Can you imagine a whole body of ceramic? Sickening. And then there's the style element, which can have a lot to do with personal taste, as well as the types of things being thrown at you and the types of terrain you happen to be in when things are being thrown at you. And these can range from classic medieval chainmail to camouflage. Is it camouflage if my outfit is made of the same fabric as the curtains? Better yet, the same fabric as the couch? Comment below, what do you think? I'm also wearing my tartan, which is what Irish fighters wore in battle. 23andMe tells me that I'm 6.5% British Irish, but I'm gonna attach myself to the Irish side because one time I crashed a wedding in Canada and all the boys had on kilts and we hit it off really well. Needless to say, they're my people. If you think about it, armor can be anything that protects you from some external element, like a good skincare regimen. It protects you from the threat of harmful UV rays and the slow effects of aging by hydrating the skin. And I am a material girl, a material. So this is the Dremel. I actually think Dremel is a brand name. This is a rotary tool. There are cordless versions, but this version has a cord and it costs about $17. Link in the description. Think of it as an upright power drill, but a little less scary. A little. For the versatility alone, it's well worth its price. It's got your standard use cases. You can use it to drill holes. You can use it for cutting, sanding, polishing, shaping, drilling, deburring, grinding, and more. Its variable speed goes anywhere from 8,000 to 30,000 RPM. These are some of the bits. These bits are for cutting. These bits are for sanding finer surfaces. This bit is for sanding larger surfaces. And then this is something I haven't used yet. This is the polishing bit. And then of course there's the drill bits. So this is how you load it and unload it. This spindle lock makes for quick and easy bit changes. You want to press the button here to loosen the spindle lock and then put the thing in. And then press the button again to tighten the spindle lock. And then let go. Pop it, lock it, drop it. To turn this pile of scrap metal into a shining suit of armor worthy of gracing the stage with Tina Turner on an ATV in the middle of the desert, we're gonna need a few things. That's right, folks. We're gonna need our essentials. For this project, you're gonna keep your Dremel handy and whichever material you're gonna be cutting out of. For me today, I'm gonna be using these scrap pieces of sheet metal and maybe some of this acrylic to make it fancy. Side note, did you know that this acrylic glass is made of the same stuff that acrylic nails are made out of? Do you wanna know how I found that out? On a previous episode where I made these wooden sunglasses with acrylic lenses, I took the soldering iron to the acrylic glass and it produced the same familiar odor that I smell when I get my nails done. And that's how I figured that out. Not because they're both called acrylic. No. I had to inhale these toxic fumes. They're not that bad. They're kind of bad. Not that bad though. A little. Anyways, if you're gonna be constructing your armor out of metal like me, then you're gonna need one of these handy dandy blow torches. Some of these protective gloves, tongs or pliers, and you'll also need one of these cool metalsmithing masks. just for a safety Mandalorian Darth Vader fashion moment. So as far as assembly, to be truthful with you, I'm pretty much just gonna be winging this. This is art being made here, folks. My strategy is to build a helmet around this dummy head. I'm sorry, friend. That wasn't a statement about your intellect. Since the sheet metal is flat and this head is round, and my head is round, I'm gonna need to use my Dremel to cut the metal into smaller pieces, and then use the blowtorch to weld the pieces back together in a shape that firmly fits this ego mine, allowing me to block all the hateration and all the holloration. Very This Is Sparta. My mama's gonna love that one. Let's fucking go! While brainstorming which style of armor we want to make, you want to factor in your terrain and what you're trying to protect yourself from. I encourage you to create your own armor to protect yourself from whatever you need to protect yourself from, even if that means yourself. Please tag me in your creations, remembering always that creativity is the driving force behind innovation. As it has been told, a tale centuries old. A wearable isn't useful to me unless it's able to withstand one of my panic attacks. So I'm gonna go get dressed, and I'll see you on the battlefield. You know, it'd be nice if you'd like, share, comment, and subscribe. But if you don't turn on your post notifications, I'll have no other choice.
Yeah.
Loaded.
And remember, the strongest of all warriors are these two: time and patience.
Yeah.
This program was made possible with the generous financial support of the Boulder Library Foundation. To learn more and find out how you can get involved and help fund future library programs, visit boulderlibraryfoundation.org today.
Yeah.